We made almost 40 cents from the last live.
Minnesota. Okay, your Chromebook, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rubber ducky. You're the one. You make liberal time so much fun. Guns are bad, okay? Okay.
Okay.
If only we got rid of firearms. Ammo, ammo, ammo. Dude, my gun will be back from Shaw Barrels tomorrow. That's gonna be so exciting. I was hoping to have it back sooner, but guess it comes when it comes. Kind of like me. What are you up to, ammo? I should be loading ammo right now. That's what I should be doing. Oh boy. Going home. You shoot today? I think that's what you said you were doing. I didn't shoot this morning. I wanted to. Harley and I shot yesterday, and Gage didn't want to go today, so we decided not to. Tonka, how are you doing? Appreciate you stopping in. I just got a bunch of 5.56 ammunition, I assume. Prime, how are you? You have to tell me more about the ammunition. You got a Glock? Yep, I got a Glock. Actually, I have, I don't know, we have 7, 8, 9 of them.
Something like that.
There's a couple CZs up there. Yeah, just 5.56. What manufacturer or what bullet weight? Full metal jacket for practice. 62 grain or 55 grain? J Dubs, what's going on? No, I don't have any SIGs. Yep, best airsoft collection on the internet. Mason, what's going on? How are you doing? There's not really, only 2 guns that are multiples are the 2 on the very top. Everything else is either different model or different caliber. They might look the same, but they're not the same. Frontier. There you go. That's usually pretty decent ammunition. J-Dub, I have a Beretta. I don't have one on the table, but yeah, I have a Beretta. Levi, how much do you think is up there? I don't know a whole lot about them, Mason. I know I want one. They're pricey, so I haven't tried in probably, I don't know, 9 months or a year to get a hold of one. But at this point, you're better off waiting until January, because they sell the SBRs or the pistol versions a lot more frequently than they sell the full size rifles. So, Reaper, how are you doing, man? How's your day going? Hope you're doing well. What about AK-74? I don't have any Russian AK-74s. I have, AK-47. I have AKMs. I have some Zastafaz AKs. So I got a bunch of stuff in the AK platform. What is the top red gun? The very, very top one? It's a CZ Checkmate. Connor, how are you doing, man? How's your day going? No, I don't sell firearms. Can't be a hoarder if you sell them. Aaron, yep, I got a few Glocks. There's a Glock build on the table. It's a Gen 4 Glock with a Stifler manufacturing slide. Prime, yes, that's a Barrett on the very top. Barrett M82. Watch him on the phone cord there. Yep, there's 2 race guns on top. I was saying if I could get some help with a shout out. I make videos and games and music. Are you subscribed to the channel? Joe, how are you doing, man? How's your day going? No, I don't have any Pit Vipers. Yeah, there's one Gen 4 there. It's got a Stifler manufacturing slide on it. Yeah. I can point it. Don't let him attack this.
Yep.
I don't like the way you're looking at shit. That's the Gen 4 Glock with the Stifler manufacturing slide on it. You'll see the little red dot. The purple one is a Ruger Mark IV 2245 Light Lipsy Special. Assassin Medallion, how are you doing? I was going to tell you if you shouted me out. Well,
No.
I guess that's not the way I'm going to work. What do you dial in your red dots to? 50 yards. So a 9mm minor, we do a 15-yard zero. 9mm major, I do a 20-yard zero. The 22 pistols, we do 15 yards. Subscribe, brother. I appreciate it, man. Be sure to double tap that screen too. Antonio Jesus is coming Sosa. Yep, that's a Barrett M82 on the very top. So, RR, I appreciate it. John Wanks, how are you doing, man? You can always tell somebody that's got issues by the number of CZs they got. Mason, I like the Scorpion. I wish I'd had that barrel changed. I'll let you shoot it. So I did a little work to that. You know, we changed the recoil spring. We put Ascalon 125% increased spring in it. And then I put a Timney trigger in it. And then the HB grip. I really like the gun the way it's set up. Nathaniel B. UNFFL. Nope. Just a private citizen. Christian, how are you doing, man? It's good to see you here. Hope your day's going good. I missed that Glock 45 comment. I only saw part of it.
I have a Glock 45 with a gold slide, double tapped as well, bro.
There you go. That sounds like a badass gun. Help me if I'm missing them comments, would you please?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a Tech 9? I do not have a Tech 9 anymore. I've had probably a dozen of them over the years. I do still have a Mac 11 though, a real Mac 11. Definitely not a Tech 9, but it's still cool. The Mac 11 I always liked over the Tech 9. That's why I've had it. I had it since 2000, and I kept that over Tech 9s because the Mac 11's always worked. Always. Ammo, 39th. That was the only MM in my squad, all M. MM. You're not a master. You gotta explain what MM means. So you're shooting. I know you're not a master. T9, Sassy Medallion. I don't know if I acknowledged you yet, but I appreciate you coming in. Thank you. Let's see. Nice collection. I appreciate that. Evening, partner. Gucci, how are you doing? Joe, mother, how are you doing? What's shaking with you? Are the red and blue 2245? The red and black one up there, with the red, black, and gold, that's a Tandem Cross gun. It's a Ruger barrel and upper receiver, but everything else on there's Tandem Cross. That gun was provided from Tandem Cross. The purple one is a 2245 light Ruger. The Tandem Cross gun is badass. My kid scored on that because had I been right-handed, he would have never got it. But I missed a couple comments about Sassy there. Why don't you sit over here so I can...
I was about to be shutting off the
Christian,
computer.
huh?
I was about to be shutting off the computer because I don't know where the charger went, so it's almost dead. I haven't been able to find it the past couple lives.
Well, you better start looking for it. I'm glad there are men like this in America. Absolutely. There's a lot of us. So, you have a 380 LCP? No, I don't have any Ruger pocket carry pistols. I'm not a super big fan of the LCPs. Yeah, there's a lot of firearm owners for sure. It's a good thing. Going out venturing. There you go. Green Hood Smoke, what's going on with you? How are you doing? How'd your live go? Rhodes, what's going on with you? How are you doing today? So if I haven't said it, and y'all hear it a bunch of times, be sure to double tap that screen for me. That type of stuff helps my channel out. Absolutely consider subscribing to the channel. I'd appreciate it. You got any Smith & Wesson revolvers? I have one. It's a Smith & Wesson Bodyguard, so it's a J-frame 38 special. Nothing real fancy. I don't have too many Smith & Wesson firearms. Tell you about the engraved Beretta 92. So it's a Girsan MC Deluxe. It's not actually a Beretta. My Beretta I have is just black. So my kid likes that gun. He shoots it for IDPA once in a while.
They actually tend to shoot it fairly well.
So yeah, he shoots the gun pretty well. Pat, how are you doing, man? How's your day going? Live went okay. They'll get better. It takes time. Sassy, I appreciate it. I said all that stuff helps. Skylar, giveaway. What you giving away? I'm interested. Right side from the top, is that a DWX? Yep, directly under the checkmate, that's a DWX. Not much, mate. Same old stuff in Australia. No cool guns allowed. Yeah, but you guys got kangaroos. That makes up for guns.
Yeah. But everything else, I wants to eat them.
Can you type into chat what kind of 92 clone that is? Yeah. Just give us a minute. I'll have the kid type it in. I went to church this morning and taught Sunday school. There you go. That's a great thing to do. Give back. Man, the amount of firearms you could arm U.S. and Mexico's army. No, I couldn't. We could definitely arm the Taliban, though. I think.
For FS. What is it? Or something. 92 FS.
It's 92. No, it's MC Deluxe.
Oh, just MC Deluxe.
MCDLUX. I never really felt like I needed any firearms before. Well, everybody's got different hobbies. So for me, I don't own firearms because I think I need them. I own them because I enjoy shooting them and I enjoy competing with them. So that's why I own them. Up until 6 months ago, before Obama left office. Can you tell me about your thoughts on the DWX pros and cons in your experience? Okay, so I don't think they're worth the money. So the Tactical Sport Orange 2 CZ is the exact same money as an optics ready Dan Wesson. the Tactical Sport Orange 2 is absolutely 100% worth that money. You get everything you paid for and then some. The DWX compared to it leaves a lot to be desired. It's a good shooting gun. I think most people, if they went and bought it, they would be happy with it. They would like it. They would enjoy it. They'd be accurate with it. But for like me, where I have the TSO2, the TSO2 is a better firearm. I think the DWX is too heavy and large to carry for concealed carry. So I think, that's going to come down to people who either want a nice range toy or shoot competitive. And for that money, the TSO2 is a better option. You just bought a Staccato. Which Staccato did you buy? Winston, it may look like they're all the same, but they're not. So there's a double set of Checkmates up there. Everything else is different. They're all different model or different caliber. It's really interesting that some people are in love with tactical modern things and some other are insanely into classics. Yeah, I use what works. So, yep. I just scrolled down to see the guns. There you go. Appreciate that. Make sure you double tap the screen for me. Vic, thank you. Which is your favorite? I really like my Checkmate. That's the gun I probably enjoy shooting the most. That's a lot of fun to shoot. Followed by probably my Tactical Sport Orange 2 in 9mm. That's a really soft gun to shoot. They're nice. Sweet Tandem Cross, how often do you use it? So Gage shoots it once a month for Steel Challenge. So he competes with that. That was provided to us back in July, and he's used it, 3-4 times now.
Something like that.
So we take it out a little bit to shoot on the range, but it's a competition gun. SD Crafts, nope, they're real bud. Yes, Sassy. Staccato XL, there you go. At least you got a good one out of it. Do you like it so far? Do you feel you got good value for the dollar? Thrall, I like them all, and I like them functional, train, maintain, stay prepared. That's a good way of living. Can you zoom in on what one is a 22? I can. How about rather than zooming in, I just show you with the laser. So on the table right now, there's 3 22s. The red and black one right there is a Tandem Cross build. The purple one is a Ruger 2245 Light, and then there's a little miniature revolver. All 3 of them are 22. SD Crafts, cool. Christian, really nice. I'd rather have a little extra food and not need it than not have it and need it. Well, it makes sense. Oh, there's CZs on there, but there's a bunch of other stuff on there. So, do I open carry? Absolutely not. A firearm's best utilized when somebody else doesn't know you have it. So it's a Gen 4 Glock. It's got trigger work on it. It's a Stifler manufacturer and slide. It's a 8-port barrel, 9mm, with a Gideon Omega optic. Nothing real fancy with it. It's a nice slide. I like that slide. If you go to Stifler manufacturing, he has a really phenomenal October sale. So I would absolutely recommend that you check his products out. Let's see. And you said which CZ was better? The CZ Tactical Sport Orange 2. It's the exact same money as a Dan Wesson. You get extra magazines. You get a bunch of spare springs. It's more accurate. It's got a better trigger. And it's the softest 9mm I own. It's night and day difference between that DWX.
Plus it has a gas.
And it's got a gas pedal, so if you were going to do it for competition, I mean, you're set up for competition ready. They're not optics cut, but you get a dovetail and you put an optic on it. And you have a full race gun for competition versus, I don't even know what you want to call the DWX. Let's see. top. I don't know what that is. That's Spanish. Hercules. How are you doing? I would love to say. The Gen 4 Glock's your favorite. I like Gen 3s. Honestly, I think the favorite one I've ever had was a hybrid Gen 3. It was called the RTF, the rough textured frame. That one was pretty slick. What would you add? What would I add to what? Which one? If we're talking like the TSO2, I would add absolutely nothing. The grips are great. The Magwell is great. The trigger's perfect. It's got great sights. You have the springs that come with it if you want to tune it. The DWX,
You said top. I want one. LOL.
looking for all doomsday firearms. I don't think any one of them would be a great doomsday firearm. Maybe the Shadow 2 or the SPO1s. Let's see. What's the tiny thing there? Oh, you're talking about the gun on the table. Man, that was awkward for a second. It's a little North American Arms 22 long rifle revolver, little 5-shot revolver. Oh, Gen 3. Yeah. I think that's just because that's what I'm used to. I mean, I remember when Gen 3s were introduced, so I do have a Gen 2 gun. I got Gen 3, a bunch of Gen 4s. Only Gen 5 I have is my Glock 26. So, Ned, nice pieces you got there. I appreciate it. Hey, y'all do me a favor. Be sure to double tap that screen for me. Throw a like up on the live. By all means, too, check out the channel if you would. Subscribe. You know, primarily on the channel we do competition shooting. So you may not like it. You might. Don't know. But anything you see here has been shown on the channel at some point or another. 50 AE or 50 GI. I would take 50 BMG. If you're going 50, go all in. So.
Yeah.
Glock 26. Yeah, it's, you know, packing a Magnum there. So that's my carry gun. I don't think you can call the 43X a Gen 5 gun, right? It's like a hybrid. I don't even know what you would call that. FE, besides the Barrett, what's your favorite handgun on the table? I like my Checkmate. If I took the Checkmate off the table, I would say the Tactical Sport Orange 2. Them are the two guns that I enjoy shooting the most. So, the little one is a 22 long rifle. Correct, the little revolver is 22 long rifle. So that's, if you look up North American Arms, they have a whole bunch of little miniature revolvers. It's something good to have in your pocket or maybe your jogging pants or something. It's better than nothing, but if you're going to use it, you better mean it. Would you shoot a 4-bore? I would probably pass on a 4-bore. You know, I've had shoulder surgery, so, you know, everybody thinks like the Barrett 50 BMG is a high recoil and cartridge. It's not. And that gun, it's actually pretty soft. It moves a lot of air, but it's not uncomfortable to shoot. CZology for the win. There you go. You can't go wrong with CZ. Yeah, it's a cool little gun. That gun is the funnest when you have some 22 tracers to play with. So, kind of impressive. Should have gotten it in pink. The little 22, they don't make them in pink. You get them in black or stainless. A lot of things, I prefer stainless because of corrosion resistance. Would you buy a CZ58? Yeah. If I were looking for one or in the market, or one became available, you know, I wouldn't say I'm actively seeking one out, but I don't think you'd be disappointed. It's a cool collector item. But so bummed when Canada laws banned them. The North American, I assume?
Maybe firearms in general.
Would you buy a GM6 Lynx? No, I think I would pass on the GM6. Being I have an M82, and for what them cost, I would probably look at something else. If I didn't own the Barrett, maybe. They're kind of a weird firearm, but you know, if I were unlimited funds, I'd have one just for the collection because it's an oddity. Where's the compact? There's compact up there. Second one up from the bottom. Little CZ PCR right there. Would you rather shoot AK or 30mm launcher? I'd rather shoot the AK-50. Meeting Brandon would be kind of cool. Okay, 75B. It's got really good recoil control for your shoulder. There you go. I don't own any Hellcats. Like, a lot of them came out. You know, if I were new in the market, the Springfield Hellcat would definitely be something I'd be interested in. But I already own my Glocks and stuff, so it's kind of, it would be like going backwards to walk away from Glock and go to a Springfield. So that's why I don't own any. But they're nice. CZ Shadow 2 Compact. I'm not a big fan of the compact. I don't like the triggers in them. If I were going to get one, I would get... Oh yeah, you're talking compact. I'm sorry. I thought you were saying the carry. I had to reread it. The compact with the manual safety is decent. The carry, I'm not a fan of the carries. The carries with the decock are kind of... They're not great. Definitely not great. So again, like... I'm invested in Glocks, so I'm not going to change platforms, right? So if I didn't own a Glock and I didn't own a Hellcat, would they be appealing to me? Probably yes. But where I already own a platform, I have holsters, I have magazines, I have, you know, all that stuff. It wouldn't make sense to go to a different platform for me. I need to out a Picatinny carry handle on the Deagle. Oh, you need to mount one? There you go. You should put a bipod on it. That'd be pretty cool. Just start mounting it upside down with a bipod. Glock Hellcat, hell no. 6.5 Creedmoor, not sure what you're asking me. You got a 21 Glock, I assume? No, I don't have a Glock 21. I'm losing all these comments. Let's see. You guys seen those AK mags you have loaded manually from the bottom? Nope, I haven't seen them. If I'm missing your guys' comments, I apologize. It's just because it's scrolling. Ramy Old School. I don't have any of the old Ramys. Mike, what's going on? How are you doing? Ned, I'm not sure what your joke is there. Unless you're talking about the magazines. Let's see. Could you show us the muzzle brake on the Ruger? On which one? The purple one or the gold one? The gold one is a game changer from Tandem Cross. The one on the Ruger is just a cheap brake. It's one TSO and two TSO2s. Any ported barrels on your handguns? Yeah, the one right there's got a ported barrel. It's it's got 8 ports in it. It's a Tandem Cross slide with a cheap barrel. How much is the 50 cal? The 50 cal is a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie. I'm ashamed to admit out loud how much that cost. Mo, I appreciate it. For his open carry, we're like another Texas. Yeah, I think concealed carry is better though. You might think open carry is a deterrent, but ultimately it's not knowing who's armed is a bigger deterrent. Those guns are goofy. Yep, I appreciate it. Skylar, they're real firearms. Yes, sir. CCW is safer than open carry. I agree. I think it's better. If you're in a crowd of people, I mean, think about it like this: if you're open carrying, the bad guy can identify you before you can identify them. Part of defense, being able to defend yourself, is an element of surprise, right? Choosing when and where and how to fight. If a violent act is being exerted towards you, you have the element of surprise. That's the difference between somebody threatening to rob you and somebody just shooting you and then robbing you. I have the Kafu with an airsoft and collab that did with Lancer Tactical. I'm not familiar with. That's a Tandem Cross type gun, isn't it? I think we were looking at that. So that gun was provided by Tandem Cross. I bought the barrel and the receiver, but everything else in that gun was from Tandem Cross. That was their frame. It's all their internals. It's their charging handle, their bolt, their optics, their compensator. So really, really cool gun. It's a good shooting gun.
Really good shooting.
The heck are you doing with 3 TSOs?
They're not 3 TSOs, it's 1 TSO.
Yeah, it's 1 TSO, 2 TSO2s. So 1 TSO. Twisty, how are you doing? Before I continue to answer that. Twisty, how are you doing? Glad you see it. So 1 TSO is set up for limited optics. Another TSO2 is set up for limited major. And then the other one is set up for limited minor. So depending on what you're doing is why there's 3. So we like to do spin the bottle to figure out what division and what gun we're going to shoot on a weekend. Not every weekend, but sometimes.
Yeah.
That's how Gage ends up shooting the gold gun half the time. Who would win in a fight, Ninja Turtles or Power Rangers? I think the Power Rangers are gay. Nobody's fooling me on that. So I think a hardcore Ninja Turtle, some mutant would definitely take over a gay Power Ranger. You agree with that? Yeah?
Probably, yeah.
Yukon Bob, how are you doing, man? Appreciate
Also
you
depends on
stopping.
which series of Power Rangers you're talking about.
They're all gay.
Oh, I know. I'm talking about that one winning. Cause some of them have massive, I don't even know how to really describe it, mechs outside of a city.
But Twisty, how are you doing today? How's your Sunday going? What would be your go-to compact Glock? I mean, historically speaking, you're gonna say just a Glock 19, but I like full-size Glocks. I like the long slide Glocks, and I like compacts. The Glock 19, for what you gain, you lose capacity over a full size, and you lose a little bit of barrel length and sight radius. So I don't see any reason you would carry a compact over a full size, and if you need something more compact, concealable, you go subcompact. So I'm not a big fan of compact firearms. Tail grease, they're all gay. Yeah. All gay, the Power Rangers. Shitty, it's raining, so no shooting or hunting today. That sucks. It's actually a beautiful day here, man. Super, super nice. No, they don't have a slower draw time. So you're not. They're not slower to draw a full size or a compact. It doesn't matter. Now you could say time to clear the holster, maybe, but not even worth discussing. The TSO costs about $3,000 here in the Philippines. Yeah, you guys have to pay more for firearms, but your ammunition's cheaper, so that's a good thing. Let's see. Ned, how? Well, How? I assume that's native for high, right? Yeah, I kind of like the compact bro practice with it, and just calls my attention. I'm about 120 pounds, so yeah. Yeah, I mean, the even like the Glock 19s and stuff, I don't know. I just something about that firearm I don't like. You know, I just, I don't know. I'm not a fan of compacts. I'll usually take a subcompact over a compact.
Yeah.
You know. CZ King, appreciate it, Chris. Buy another. It is time, my child. There you go. I like the way you think, sir. What you think of the big beautiful bill? I see the SIG brace and SBR are just taken off the list. Just word I hear. So what they did is they removed the taxation side of SBRs and suppressors. So you can still have braces. It's still a braced pistol. I don't think that having like everything I have that would have a brace, some of it's still worth keeping a pistol brace on, because there's a lot of states in the United States that class 3 firearms are illegal. So like to cross a state line with an SBR is complicated, if not a felony, even if your stuff is legal in the state you live. So some of these states where NFA stuff is illegal across the board, you can still have pistols. An AR pistol is still an AR pistol. So things to think about. Is the ammo cheaper? Box of 9mm FMJ costs 25 to 30. I wouldn't call them. Well, maybe not then. One box, 50 pieces of arms. See, I thought it was cheaper, so I stand corrected. No politics in the chat. Well, I don't know who's talking politics. Big felony. Hey, so real talk, with upcoming limitations in California on Glocks, would you recommend I get instead of a SIG? I've heard SIGs are good, but also good at. Yeah, I'm maybe not the one to ask about SIGs. There's probably a lot of people in here that would have more insight on them. I've kind of stayed away from SIG pistols for decades. There's never really been anything about them other than being a U.S. service pistol that's made me want one. Monty, what are your thoughts on the Omega Trigger versus the original? The Omega Trigger is interesting because you can switch it from a decocker to a manual safety. Other than that, you know, they're okay. I would still rather have a regular trigger because I know how to work on them. I stay out of Illinois. My family lives there. Pain in the ass if you want to find me. Absolutely, it is. It's a whole nother country going to Illinois. Got my CVA Scout suppressor would have difference, especially. Yeah, I bet that helps a lot. I want to stay away too. So Shadow Systems is coming out with a different trigger, because what they did, they didn't essentially ban Glocks. They banned Glock's trigger mechanism. The Fulcrum triggers is what they got. What they banned. Glock just being one of many firearms that use that style trigger. So Shadow Systems used a Fulcrum trigger. They have a updated model coming out, and because it's an update and not a new firearm, it's still going to stay on the roster. So maybe check out Shadow Systems. We have one, and I hate to admit it, but I really like the gun. Other than my own personal guns, that Shadow System, which is what my daughter shoots, I tend to pick that one up and play with it quite a bit. Yeah. Just, I enjoy shooting it. It's a nice shooting gun. It's nowhere near as accurate as a CZ, but for what it is, for a striker-fired polymer frame gun, it's accurate enough. I love my Glocks and I love my men. Don't mean to insult. No, man, you can love both. If Ammo's still in here, he would tell us he loves his men too, but I think he bailed.
Yeah. think you could also tell this guy who loves CZ.
What kind of holsters do you like for in waistband? So my options are probably different than yours. Most of my stuff I've had made, so I'm left-handed, so um, I don't spend big money on holsters. I just get good quality holsters. Most of my stuff was made by a company that doesn't exist anymore called Mach 2 Tactical. So that probably, like I said, probably doesn't help you. Love my CZ collection, although I'm a little upset with their recent decision to take the contract for disposing firearms for the Canadian Firearms Ban. Yeah, can't really blame them for making money. You know, they didn't do it, and somebody was going to, so can't blame them. Got to figure. Colt Canada is a pretty big company up there, and you know that's how they got the contract. CZ got it just because they own Colt. What gun on the table means the most to you? None of them really. They're just tools. You know, they're just tools. Stuff that like has sentimental value, none of that stuff's out here. Raging Bullets, what's going on with you? How are you doing? Oh well, Ammo was funny. Yeah, he was here earlier. I'll make off comments about him sometimes because a lot of times he's lurking in the background, and as soon as I start talking shit about him, he'll chime back in. But Ammo's good people, man. I like him. Very, very good people. Very genuine dude. I really like this guy. First one. There you go. Yeah, CZ owns them now. Yep, they do. And it's a good thing, because if CZ hadn't bought them, number one, if somebody would have, they probably wouldn't be doing anything decent. They saved Colt. Colt was bankrupt. Colt was ready to board up the doors. You know, I kind of feel ashamed because I have a few Colt rifles. I'd like to buy a new one. I haven't had the resources to do it because I buy other shit. This guy has like 10 of my Grail guns. There you go. The Barrett was one of my Grail guns. That was one that I really wanted. Followed by a Checkmate. Number two big accomplishments for me. Any opinions on pistols plus AR conversion kits? AR conversion kit to like 9mm or to barrel conversion kits, you know, to change calibers, or to do like a 9mm upper on an AR lower. You have to like better state the question. I'm not sure what you're asking. Like I said numerous times, hey, if y'all would be sure to double tap that screen for me. Consider subscribing to the channel. Watch the content. So, I'm not one of these guys who asks people for money. The best way you can support our channel is just by liking, subscribing, and watching the content.
Yeah.
So, you know, what's your rarest CZ? I don't think I really have a rare CZ. Everything's easily get. The Urban Gray Shadow, there's kind of limited numbers of them around.
Maybe the Checkmates.
There's only limited numbers of them around because nobody really wanted the gray. So I wasn't really a big fan of the gray either. My penny pinching son talked me into that because it was $100 cheaper than the all black, and then they discontinued it. And the gray's grown on me. I mean,
well, it's also dulled out. It's not nearly as bright as it first was.
The Tactical Sport oranges, the ones and the twos, they're a little bit harder to get, and the hardest one of the three to get is the 40 cal.
Yeah.
So the 9mm are pretty easily found. The TSO2 and 40 is a hunt. I think it took me about 1.5 years to get a hold of one. It was right about 1.5 years.
Something like that, yeah.
So, the checkmates, they're a little bit harder to find now because they're discontinued. But I found the first one within like a week of starting to look for it, and the second one I got about a year later, and that was one of the people I talked to when I was looking for the first one. A year later, they were able to get a hold of the second one, so I bought it. But the second one was actually a request that was put out a year before. So same with the TSO2. I was looking for a TSO2 and 40. I couldn't find one. They found me a 9mm. About 1.5 years later, they got a hold of a 40 cal from the original request. So one checkmate I waited about a year to get. The TSO2 and 40 I waited about 1.5 years. So I don't know if you call that rare. I mean, if you spend the money and you want to shop around, you can find them, you know, but not really rare. The PCR, the CZ PCR, that's not a super common gun in the U.S. You'll see more like the PO1s. The PCRs, they bring them in limited numbers. That was actually the first CZ I bought, and that's that one right there.
So let's get all the other CZs on that table.
Yeah, that's responsible for me buying every other CZ I own. Focus, how are you doing, man? How's your son doing? Son, right? I think you said it was son. Your son.
Yeah.
If not, I apologize. I think you said it was his son.
Thanks, son.
Yeah, hopefully you're doing good. Appreciate you stopping by. Just tapping in, back to trolling trolls. There you go. Been doing pretty good today, actually. We had 1 or 2 people that come in trolling, which is fine. Otherwise, everybody's been pretty respectable, which definitely isn't always the case, as you know. But you know, yeah, we're doing good. We shot yesterday. We didn't shoot today. My daughter didn't want to shoot today. I was going to go with just my son and I. He worked late last night and he didn't want to go this morning, so I left everybody alone. So, figured to get this live hours in. I've been slacking pretty hard on doing lives. But you can see it in your channel performance when you haven't done any for a while, because they
Once
your
you
stuff
start
stops
live,
getting shown up. You do a few lives and your channel will do really good for a week, and you know YouTube likes that engagement. So my boys' lives was lit, and then the troll showed up with the usual "your guns are trash," blah blah blah. Yeah, that's kind of what they do. I hear it too, and you gotta laugh because
especially
you know you throw what 35 grand, 40 grand worth of firearms out, and you hear they're trash.
not like our last live.
You know?
I literally did hear that about that much.
So, you know, you can't take them serious.
Buried in the live, and they're saying it's trash.
What about the CZ P10C? I like the CZ P10C. I just haven't bought one. I need to. I just haven't bought one. How many subscribers do you need to go live?
I believe it was 50.
I think it's 50 to do a limited live. And Focus, how many? You'll know how many subscribers do you need to do lives? I think at 50 you can do limited lives, and then I don't know if it's 100 or 1,000.
I don't know. I think it's 100 because me with my
50.
300
There you
doesn't
go.
require.
How many subscribers do you have now, Joe? You know, if somebody wanted to get really good with the firearm, the right answer is to go out, like you said, is to go out and just shoot that gun and shoot it a lot.
Actually, that's exactly.
I like to be good with everything. I like to be able to pick up somebody's gun at a range and be able to shoot it well. So we shoot a lot of different types of things. Yeah, Gage
Yeah.
looked. He said you have enough to do a live.
Yeah, 51. That's our big puppy sleeping.
Not really much of a puppy.
Yeah, he's 3, but he's still actually a puppy.
We are still trying to get monetized. We got to get our watch hours up. The watch hours take a long time to get up. There's no easy answer to that.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Unless you can get a video to go viral. It doesn't even matter if it's a short.
It has to be an actual video.
It has to be an actual video, 10 minutes or longer, and it has to go viral in order to get the watch hours where you need it. Otherwise,
Here's
it just
Prince
simply
doing
comes down
lives.
to do lives. Lives.
But the main issue we've seen from lives is then you are required to do lives in order for your channel to do anything.
Yeah.
Is YouTube will nail you with that, and then now you always have to do lives.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're suppressed.
That is one of the downfalls to YouTube lives is like, I don't care if you get 100,000 people in your lives and 100,000 subscribers. If when you do a 30-second short, you get 100 views on it, what are you really accomplishing? You know, you gotta have the support on your videos. That's why like Focus, Raging Bullets, Joe Self. That's why I take the time and I go to all your guys' content and I watch your videos because that's what matters. It's how many people come and support your channel and your videos. To me, that's what matters. You know. So, I'm trying to go live next week. And yeah, biggest thing with lives, Joe, is you can't handle firearms. Set up either a gun wall or a table, and don't move them, don't touch them. You can zoom the camera up or move the camera around, but definitely don't be in
Don't even
frame
stick
with them.
anything in frame to show it.
So that's
why
a
we use
big
the
one.
laser.
What's your favorite pistol? Beautiful. Depends what I'm doing with them. I like my Checkmate. I enjoy shooting that. I like my Tactical Sport Orange too. That one's nice too. It just takes time, man. You just gotta keep plugging away. Like we had our channel for a year and a half, and we weren't even a quarter of the way there, and we started doing lives.
We got there in like.
And
6
we got
months.
there in like
No, less than that.
yeah, 3 months.
3-4 months.
3-4 months. We got enough hours. But like our channel was partially monetized for
Ever.
a year almost, you know. But we weren't getting the watch hours to go fully monetize, and I'd have shorts that would do well,
But
but
they don't count.
they don't really count. You don't have enough time. You need the actual watch hours. You know, you do 5 million views on a short, and you're still, you know, hundreds and thousands hours away. Just
Yeah.
it takes. You can't get there. You got to do lives.
We had like a 8 million view video nearly short, and we got nothing on our watch hours pretty much.
I'm thinking of getting my first pistol. I think I'm going to with a Glock 19 Gen 5. Check out, just for shits and grins, type this down and put it in the thing. Check out a Shadow Systems MR920P Elite. That's a Glock 19 size firearm. Is that if similar, but it's got a comp. It's a little bit more money than a Glock 19, but it's a
So
much nicer
920p,
MR920P.
920p.
So if you were asking my opinion, I would probably tell you to go that way. Arizona Kid, how are you doing, man? How's your day going? Hope you're doing well. So Gage pinned that for you. Check out that gun before you buy a Glock 19. I said it's a little bit more money,
So to pin it.
but they come a little bit nicer. If you go Shadow Systems MR920P Elite,
Oh yeah, I forgot.
you get a little bit nicer barrel and you get a little nicer trigger. Is that you? That's not you? Yeah, man. Every one of them. I'll look it up when I've looked into Taurus too and say, yeah, I tend to personally stay away from SIG. Oh boy,
That's 2 different channels too.
that's 2 different. Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
My dogs are friendly, I swear. No, just buy a Glock 19C. The port works better than a comp, and there's no added barrel. Huh? What? There's another ATF here. Huh? Interesting. About to get a Canuck MC9. There you go. Canucks have great triggers. Canucks definitely have good triggers. I'd love to say that like I'm overly impressed with them. Other than their triggers, I'm not really much of a Canuck fan. But again, that's experience, right? You get used to something, it's hard to pick something else up and like it. But I think they come in at great price points. Yeah, they're just here for the dogs, I'm sure. It's probably why Leroy was having a nightmare over there. Where I'm from, gun laws are atrocious, but crime is definitely rising. Yeah, that seems to be the thing. Hide y'all dogs. Yeah, they're sleeping right now. They're friendly, I swear. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I know how you ATF guys are. I don't think having two of you in here is a good thing. Oh boy. Oh shit. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. What do you mean is our rhino riding a bad thing? Oh yeah. Oh boy. It's a party when the ATF shows up for sure. Don't listen to them. Huh. Them are two different channels?
Yeah.
That's classy. Either of them have any content on their channel?
I don't know.
G23, how are you doing, man? How's your day going? Good to see you here.
Not that I'm
Hey,
seeing.
since we got the ATF here, you two be sure to double tap the screen for me, would you? I'd appreciate it. Maybe speed up on your paperwork too. You guys take forever. Don't tell the ATF about my left hand. No, we're gonna keep that a secret. Next thing you know, they'll be shooting your dog and putting you in prison just because you got a quick finger. Went the like and sub. There you go. You're not wrong. The shadow system is nice as long as you have the 10 round mag. It should be. Yeah. Yeah, should be. I think depending on what state you're in, they'll ship with 10 rounds. Comps are definitely nice. So are ports. With ports, you lose velocity. And with ports, you also have the ability, especially on a carry gun, to start getting stuff, foreign debris into your barrel or your action. That's why I personally say the comp, like the MR920P, is a little bit better than something with an open slide with open ports in a barrel. Doing great, trying to get over a cold. Well, hopefully you get over that quick. Fuck the ATF, they can't even figure out how to field strip a Glock. No, they can't. They yeah, we'll just leave it at that. You know, maybe I won't leave it at. I'm sure there's guys in that agency, they're probably pretty fucking solid.
Yeah.
You know, but
They're taking
considering that them guys' job is like firearm related, more of them should understand firearms. But I think with a lot of these enforcement agencies at any of these letterhead companies, right? ATF, DEA, ICE, Homeland Security, Customs, a lot of these guys, they end up more of a college graduate looking for a job. You know, they don't care what agency they go and work for. They just want to work in that type of thing. because these aren't guys who graduated police academy and then got recruited. They have some time and some training. So you would think that they know what's going on, but clearly not. You know, it seems like a lot of that agency is the same way. You start writing and asking questions, or you get sent to their technical, I'm trying to think what's called, technical evaluation area, and they don't get it. Yeah, I agree with that. Couple bad ones ruin it for everybody. And you know, I've over the years, I've had the privilege of dealing with ATF several times, and the people I dealt with were cool. They were straight up solid people, but they were doing their jobs, so it was nothing like unprofessional. You know, I used to have a home firearms business, so I'd get home audits, and the field agents were cool. You know, respectful and shit, but you know, on the same thing, you know, in the back of your head, just like getting pulled over from a cop, you know, on a dark country road at 3 a.m., you gotta half wonder, you know, how's this gonna go? So, anybody that chooses to uphold the law, I can appreciate it. I may not like it, but I can appreciate it. I just don't like people being wish-washy and selective, you know. The men and women doing the work probably know more than the people sitting in the office as management. Absolutely, they do. All right, Raging Bullets, you have a good day, man. I'll try to make sure I catch your next live. So I don't, for whatever reason, I don't get any notifications ever to your channel. So if you like, excuse me, if you get a rough idea when you're gonna do live, give me like a notice, throw me a comment, a video, or a short, and then I'll pop up a notification, and I'll make sure I'm there for yours. I tell a lot of people to do that, so don't like, whatever. I think this guy hates CZs. Man, it's obvious, I know. I'm gonna trade them all in next week for Glocks. Enough of this CZ life. Oh fuck. Yeah, that's what I know. How long we been live?
Should be on there. Yeah, in the bottom section. It stopped updating. Put that refrigeration.
That's probably a good place to get off of this for now. I burnt up some of your guys' time. We're gonna hit a couple lives this week, so if y'all want to come back and catch us, I thought about getting a CZ Shadow 2 in 40 Smith & Wesson. I don't think they make a Shadow 2 in 40 Smith & Wesson. I think all Shadow 2s are 9mm. But like I said, we'll hit a couple more lives this week. Try to keep the YouTube overlords happy. So I'll let you guys go. Joe, you have a good day. Arizona Kid, you have a good day. Anybody else that was here, I'll catch you another time. Christopher, we're just dipping off here. Yeah, man, check out the Shadow Systems. Hopefully it's something you like. And it's easy to get parts for it and holster compatibility. But till I talk to y'all another time. All right, Chris. Hopefully we'll catch you in the next live. I appreciate you subbing. So you guys all have a good day. I'll catch you guys another time.